Athletics now heads to Birmingham, England for the start of the inaugural Boop, a Great Run of Birmingham Half Marathon. Formerly known as the Birmingham Half Marathon, the Boop, a Great Run Half Marathon is the host of more than 15,000 runners under a new banner and management team. The spotlight on the women's race was to focus on England's newest rising road star, Gemma Steele, who took the charge from the start. Gemma, sporting the red racing strip and long blonde hair, has been very impressive on the roads during this fall racing season. The race was all about Gemma and Louise Damon in green. Damon came into the race with heavy legs after spending the last few weeks training for next month's Yokohama Women's Marathon. The men's side featured the likes of the great Haile Gebrselassie, who, coming off a non-finish in the Berlin Marathon, was hoping to restore a bit of stature to his slightly diminished crown as arguable king of the distance world. Haile seemed more than willing to lie in the shadow of the pace set by the former Kenyan turned Qatarian, formerly Daniel Kipkosgei, who is now Essa Rashid. Mile 4 featured the Edgbaston Cricket Grounds, where the Commonwealth Games marathon champion, Kenyan John Kelai, was starting to feel the pressure of the increased tempo and was dropping off the back of the elite pack. The trailing mix also contained two Moroccans and the former 10,000-meter European champion Spaniard Jose Manuel Martinez. But it seemed the great one, Gebrselassie, and the 24-year-old Essa were in a place of their own as the two frontrunners pushed ahead with the next 2 miles clocked in 4:35 and 4:37. At this point in Gebrselasie's career, even if his major championship days could perhaps be closed, one can reflect on his great career. World records, Olympic records, World Championship records, World Marathon Majors, Golden League, Indoor Championships, and even a movie along with the gratitude of fans worldwide. Back at the women's pitch, Gemma Steele was taking command of the race from Louise Damon, all the while making it look like an effort of ease as Damon seemingly struggled with her pace and less than fluid running style. However, Damon came into the race with heavy legs after spending the last few weeks training for next month's Yokohama Women's Marathon. She currently boasts a marathon personal best of 2 hours 30 minutes. Gemma Steele, on the other hand, is the hottest female runner in England at the moment. The 26-year-old Steele is really coming into form now, as she is now the reigning UK half marathon champion and has shown great promise this year by defeating marathon world record holder Paula Radcliffe and top seed Joe Pavey in 10K races in London and Sheffield this year. While Steele was starting to show her class in the women's race, Essa and Gebrselassie had completely separated from the chase pack by more than 100 meters. This left Abderrahim Bouradami in the green vest to battle it out with the 40-year-old Spaniard, birthday boy, and former European 10,000-meter champion Jose Martinez and the other Moroccan Anani. While the third position was being contested, the younger Essa must have had fleeting thoughts of perhaps today being his major breakthrough. A day when he could be one of the few men in the world to hand Gebrselassie another major road defeat. But this was only mile 6, and Gabe has not lost back-to-back races in more than a decade. With the women having cleared 5 miles, it appeared that Steele was building an unassailable margin over the struggling Damon, as the margin of separation had grown to well over 30 meters by this point. Gemma was leaving little doubt that another British star was soon to be added to the list of those conquered. It must be noted, however, that the trailing Damon had a different agenda for this race. Unlike Steele, she has already qualified for next year's 2012 London Olympics, hitting the mark at the London Marathon in April, while Steele has not yet hit a qualifying mark. Damon, who many would say is not a classically fluid runner, has an ungainly style that lacks grace, but not to be underestimated for strength. Cannon Hill Park is the most popular park in Birmingham, and it is also the 9-mile mark for today's half marathon distance. By the time Gebrselassie had reached the 250-acre oasis, he was left sharing the race lead with his shadow, thanks to a pair of 4:25 and 4:23-mile splits to leave no doubt who the great one in Birmingham is today. Essa has been left behind by more than 200 meters. By 10 miles, the women's race has turned into a no-brainer, as well as Steele has proven once again that she is real British Steele, leaving behind the male detachment that surrounded her earlier in the race. But for Haile Gebrselassie, the race is now on autopilot as he crosses the line comfortably in 1:01:29, a solid if not great time for a course that has a few challenging hills in the last mile. In second place, Essa Rashid comes across the line approximately 1 minute behind Geb and a new personal best for himself. Essa will perhaps remember this as the day he challenged head-to-head the Great One and lost despite running his best time ever. In third place, the 33-year-old Moroccan Abdel Rahim crosses in 1:03:57. Meanwhile, the new British star Gemma Steele is springing to the line as she realizes that she will probably get another personal best in the half marathon for the second time in 2 months. Gemma crosses the line in 1:21:21, almost 1 minute and 20 seconds faster than her previous best. In second place, the tired but happy Louise Damon had to be pleased with her 1:13:51, although she was beating by more than 1 minute 20 seconds.
It's tough out there on my own, but I managed to get there in the end and managed to beat the banana, which was the main thing as well. It was funny and yeah, it was great. The atmosphere was brilliant and it's nice to see everyone else getting involved. But it was tough out there on my own in the conditions as well, and the hill after 11 miles didn't help.
The rest is wonderful. Yeah, it's nice atmosphere. I know here in Birmingham, people they love sport. They love athletics. From my indoor games, I remember that. It's fantastic.